Alright, welcome back to SnowRunner, and we are on a new region, as you know if you have been watching my SnowRunner. Now, typically I do go into every region blind. There's a slight... Um, with Ontario, I had played a little bit of that with my friend on a different save file, so like I kind of knew what to expect with Ontario, at least for the first map, the Albany River map. Because we played a couple hours on it together, but I didn't really, we never went to the Burn Forest map, and I never really progressed too much further than like repairing water towers or whatever. But obviously we did all of that on our own now. And then Duncan Bay here, I did come here just to unlock the Kenworth because I wanted to test it out, but I didn't pick up any upgrades or anything, so I didn't really end up even using the Kenworth, so hopefully once we get some of the upgrades, we'll be able to use the Kenworth more and see how it is. There's a ton of watchtowers here, but we also do have our trusty F750, and it does have its little radar thing on here. I'll show you right now. It's just like the prototype trailer, but this is a modded 750, and it's just easier. It still has gas. It's still, you still have to keep gas in it, blah, blah, blah. Like, it works exactly the same as the trailer that you pull behind, but it's just, you don't have to pull the trailer behind you. So for this episode, like I always do when I start a region out, is I tend to try to stick to the edge of the map, and I drove all the way around, pick up watchtowers, and scan everywhere I can, so I completely defog the black, because I prefer to see the full map. That's just kind of how I do it. I do it with every single map, and it tends to work out really well for me, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to just, I guess we'll go hit this watchtower first if we can. It looks like there's a landslide there, but I'm sure we can probably get up there some other way. Probably like right here, actually. It looks like that's a path. But yeah, we'll come up here if we can. And we'll go back this way, which we should actually pick up that landslide task too. So we'll do that. We are playing with the wheel, as always. Well, not as always, but I did say I was going to start British Columbia with the wheel, so we are using the wheel. But this should be a good episode. We're gonna just, chat, clear out the region, and that's that. We're gonna clear out the region, defog the map, and yeah. Oh god, I knew that was gonna happen. Oh man, why does it like do that so perfectly every time? It's so weird. It's like if you drive over a stump, it's just like, what the heck, dude? I need to go to low or something. Like this truck is a little too quick on the acceleration. Yeah, you can definitely go up this. That stump area is just a little rough. Alright, so let's take it right here real quick and pick up this. Just so we have it. Back up. I like to try to get the watchtowers just because it seems like there's a lot on this map, so maybe they will actually clear the whole map. It's just, ever since, like all the vanilla maps where you get the watchtowers and it would pretty much completely clear the map, with a few exceptions. There were some areas that it didn't totally clear, but a lot of the like newer regions and like the DLCs, like there was like 2 watchtowers and it would only like clear a certain area, and that's why you had to use that stupid little prototype exploration unit from Kola Peninsula. And that thing's just a pain to drive around. I mean, I can connect it to this truck because it is a modded truck, so it does allow me to tow scout trailers, even though the regular 750 does not. But again, it's just unnecessary to tow it when I could just put this little thing on and it works the exact same way, requires fuel, so I don't really see any harm in using it, and at the end of the day, it's my game anyway, so I can play it however I want. I do have links to any mod I use, well, the main mods I use. I do have a couple other ones that I didn't link, but like Olsom's Trailers is a link in my description. My Zeke 605R should be in the description, and this truck should be in the description. I do have a Mastodon that's made by the same guy that made the Zeke's one. So if you're interested in that, then you can check it out for yourself. Oh yeah, see that opened. That opened a lot. Alright, cool. So it looks like that's a path, right? So let's go back. I just like to do this because when I do this, I don't really want to go through the water. That seems dumb. So like when I do this, I'll go like this, and then this last point here tells me that that's where I can scan, because that's where the black is. I'm going to keep scanning because, like I said, I like to totally clear the map. I like it to be a perfect square. I'm pretty like anal about that. There are some times when I just kind of just let it slide if it's just like the one corner isn't uncovered, just because, you know, it's I know there's nothing there, but sometimes I can be a little anal about it, and I make sure it's like a perfect square, totally uncovered, no more black fog. But I don't know, sometimes I just don't care. It really kind of depends on my mood and on the map. Like with Glades, there was a couple of maps on Glades I didn't fully clear out because I just hated Glades so much that that region was not fun for me. I think most people have that sentiment. I don't think a lot of people like Glades at all. I think the farming was horrible, was very poorly implemented, very poorly executed, and it has no sense being in SnowRunner. But like if I wanted to play a farming simulator, I'd literally play Farming Simulator. I don't need to do that on SnowRunner. I get that they're trying to like be creative and like add different like things to do in the game, but that farming just isn't it at all. It's just not good. And it, you know, maybe it could have been a little bit better if they gave you like better trucks or tractors, but like the tractors are horrendous. I have actually read though that if you use the newer, I don't remember, it's a Kiravet, whatever, I don't know the number, but the newer looking one, there's two. There's like an older boxy square looking one, and then there's a newer one that's more like rounded edges. You know, just obviously it looks like a newer truck or a new tractor. If you use that, where am I going? Oh, I'm where I need to be. If you use that, it sorry, I lost my train of thought. If you use that in a mirror, it I really can't talk in or walk. What's the saying? Walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Generic B used to say that all the time. I really, what the heck, man? Alright, I guess that's the word. So yeah, with Kola Peninsula, it or not Kola. Why am I saying Kola Peninsula? With a mirror, if you use the newer looking Kiravet's tractor and put the double wide like dually tires on it, it apparently like you can just drive pretty much anywhere in a mirror and it like just doesn't get stuck. It just like totally negates all the like terrible terrain in a mirror. I've never tried it obviously because I've already completed a mirror, but I don't know. I saw that on the subreddit and a lot of people like agreed with the person. They were like, oh yeah, it works really well. Is that like a... Is there no other way to get over there? I mean, there is that, obviously, but I... I don't really want to drive all the way around. But there's no way I can get over that. I'll get stuck trying, and I'm sure there's like an invisible wall here. We're just gonna have to go. Okay. Oh, we actually might be able to drive under here. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. You couldn't do that on Alaska. Alaska had areas like that where you couldn't, it literally was enough space for you to drive under, but there was like a, you know, like an invisible barrier there, and it wouldn't let you go through. Man, I'm so excited to be on a new map. I really did like Ontario, but it's just nice to be on a new region. And this one's really cool. I think you're like, you're like rebuilding a ski resort or something. And I know there's like a big boat you have to transport. Alright, so there is that. They're doing pretty good actually. It clears a lot. It's kind of crazy. Alright, so we just need to make our way back down, and then we're gonna go this way. And over here. Why am I... But yeah, we should be able to get this all done in one episode. Easy, especially since we're playing with the wheel and it's going to be an hour long. Because I've gotten this done in 30-minute episodes before, so it's definitely possible. And these maps aren't any bigger than Ontario's maps, so... Obviously the road layout's going to be a little different, so it may not be perfect. Ontario almost had like a ring the whole way around the map. You could just basically drive around. It made it really easy. This one seems like it's going to be a little harder to do that, but I've just found that this is the best way to do it. If you want to clear the whole black fog, is to just stick to the edge of the map and just use your radar and scan and pick up watchtowers as you go, and you should eventually uncover all the fog. Jeez. You may also hear wheel noises, but there's not really anything I can do about that. My microphone is just going to pick it up if it does, and that's kind of the downside of playing with a wheel. It tends to make noise, and my microphone is a condenser, so it picks up pretty much everything. Oh, I didn't pick that up. I should have picked that up. That's fine. I like to try to pick up tasks as I'm going along, just because obviously that's the smart thing to do. But sometimes you just, you know, miss them, and it's whatever. We'll be driving around plenty that we'll pick all of them up at some point. So obviously, like I said, we have done the one mission for the Kenworth on here, and I'm not gonna like reset it and redo it. We're just gonna leave it alone. Which I don't think I could even reset it. I guess I don't think I could, because I've already actually completed it, so there's no way for me to bring it back on the map. But it's pretty basic. It's just a basic repair this truck, and then here you go, it's your truck. That's really all it was. And actually, I believe I showed that I did that whenever I was doing the Glades region, so it's in one of those episodes. I probably titled it Kenworth, whatever. So if you want to see it when I collected it, you could just go there and find that episode. I'm pretty sure the title of it is Kenworth, whatever the number is, Kenworth 963 or whatever. I'm pretty sure I titled the video that. So, like I said, if you really want to go see it, you'll just have to... I have to just drive up this river to get to this? I do want to hit the watchtowers. I mean, obviously you have to for 100%, but... Actually, I don't know if that's true. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know that that's entirely true. I feel like it is. I assume you just drive up this river, though. Or creek, whatever you want to call it. Stream. It's not really a river. I have finished Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, so that's all done. The final episode of it, I didn't do live commentary, I just voice-overed it because I just had to clean up the last couple trophies, and it was just, I was kind of tired of recording it, to be honest. I just wanted to get it done, so I just recorded it while I was just playing by myself without my microphone, and I got it all done. I voice-overed it a little bit, but it's a pretty short one. It's only like 6 minutes long. So, but that'll go up. That day we'll just have a really short video, but I don't want to post more than a video a day. I think one video a day seems to work best for me. But we're definitely going to move on to Spider-Man. I'm really excited for Spider-Man 2. I've been waiting to play it because, you know, obviously I was kind of behind on some other things and I didn't get around to playing it on release. But I'm excited to play it, so... That is going to be our next Platinum Trophy game that we go for, and yeah. And then after that, we'll go to Mirage. Well, I don't know. We may not, because I'd like to get all of the other Assassin's Creeds completed. And I'm still working on Origins. I actually haven't even played it in a couple days. I worked the past 2 days. And in the past 2 days, I got like 25 hours, so like it was a lot. And I got home really late. I don't know why I did that. I got home really late both nights, and then, you know, I was just up early because of my children, and then I had to go back to work the next day at 1, and I wasn't there again until midnight. Like, it was just a long weekend. And I'm actually probably going to start working there a lot more if things work out. I was kind of not really like formally offered, but like I was told that they are trying to hire like full-time techs that would get 40 hours a week and like benefits and, you know, paid vacation, everything. And I worked there, you know, years ago back in the day when it was a different sound company that was contracted to be the techs. Because like I don't actually work for this theater. I work for a sound company that is just contracted by this theater for the technical crew, just because the theater is nonprofit, so they don't really have a whole lot of employees. Like their main office employees, which is really, it's a bunch of women, which they're all great, but they deal with like all the programming, like, you know, they get the clients and the entertainment and the concerts and whatever else in there. There's like the events assistants, and then like the operations manager, the executive, whatever. But the executive director is the one that was talking to me, and she's known me for years because she was there whenever I worked there, like 10 years ago. And she was telling me that, you know, she really thinks I should try to do it because, you know, I know the theater. I know, you know, I'm always reliable and responsible, and so yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it, and I hope I get offered the position, I guess. So, you know, keep your fingers crossed for me. And if that does happen, obviously I'm gonna be working a lot more than I am now, because basically right now I'm just kind of like part-time, like pick up gigs when I can. And a lot of that reason is just because I have 2 kids. One of them is in school. The other one is only 2, so he is not in school. And daycare is really expensive. So my wife has a really good job and she makes really good money, but unless I would find a job that was you know, worthwhile and something I really wanted to do, which this is, you know, I have an education in this. It's my background. I love being a tech. I love running sound. I love all that stuff. I've always enjoyed it. I really like, you know, I really like the event side of it too, more than anything. Not because it's like easy, but the event side is super easy. Like there's a lot of times where I don't really have to do much. I kind of just stand or sit around, and if I'm needed somewhere or if something happens, obviously I fix it and take care of it. But a lot of times it's just a lot of waiting around till the event's over, and I still get paid all that time. So it's just really nice, and it's just a lot of fun, and I don't know, I love it. And obviously I still love doing concerts and the auditorium side of it, but like we have a ballroom and some other event spaces that we use, so we have a lot of weddings and just, you know, corporate events and just various other things, anything you can think of, birthday parties, weddings, you know, business meetings, work parties, anything that could use a ballroom. Essentially, you know, you can use your imagination there. But I tend to take events a lot more because they're usually on the weekends or they're at night in the evenings during the week, and it's easier for me to work that out to get someone to watch my boys if my wife is working or whatever, because obviously, you know, we have people that can help us watch them, like our parents and whatever else. So typically it works out. The job I had before COVID, and COVID is the reason why I don't have that job anymore, because that company went out of business. It was a movie theater. I loved that job, but honestly, I'm kind of glad that I'm not there anymore, because I mean, essentially, I'm in the same industry. Just this industry is more live, whereas the movie theater was more movies. But it's still the same. Like, I'm still gonna work a lot of nights and weekends, and that's fine. I'm used to that. It doesn't bother me. But like, just that theater, I was in charge of inventory, and it was a lot, and I wasn't paid well for it. You know, I wasn't using my education, like my actual talent with like live sound and technical stuff. So I'm kind of glad I'm not there anymore. And to be honest, I had wanted to go back. I really did. And I applied to be the general manager. And I was told I didn't have the experience required, which was bullshit. I've talked about this before in a video long ago. I think I was on Maine when I talked about this, but it all came down to the COO, the Chief Operations Officer, I think is what his title was. He just didn't like me, and there was really no reason why that I know of. I mean, there was this inventory mishap right back when I first started doing inventory. I was never trained how to do it. I was just kind of like thrown to the wolves and like, this is your job now. Was never given any kind of compensation for it until we later asked for more compensation, because we were all given more duties, all the assistant managers, because I was just an assistant manager at this time. And we finally got more compensation, and then we felt better about it, and I really put effort into it then, but I just wasn't really paid a whole lot. So like, it just kind of felt like, what is it, you know, like I'm gonna do this. I mean, I did kind of half-ass it, we'll be honest here. But the reason that I assume he didn't like me didn't have to do with me half-assing anything. It was one of the Star Wars movies, one of the episodes, the newer trilogy with like Kylo Ren and stuff. I think it was episode 8. I don't know. It was one of them. I don't remember which one. It wasn't one of the spin-off stories. Like, it wasn't the Han Solo one, or it wasn't Rogue One. It was definitely one of the episode ones. So like, we knew it was going to be busy. Obviously, it's Star Wars, like, duh. And I would always order tons of kernels, like 50 plus 50-pound bags of kernels when I would order inventory. And I'd order inventory every single week. Every Sunday was when I ordered it. And I ordered the amount plus that I thought we would need, you know, just based off of just my knowledge of working in a movie theater, because I've worked in a movie theater for a long time at this point. And clearly I didn't order enough, and we ran out. And our supplier did not have any. We couldn't get any kernels from them. They were completely out. The Sam's Club in our town was completely out. The Sam's Club in the next town over was completely out. The Sam's Club, or the Costco, was out. Like, you couldn't get kernels anywhere. Like, there was literally a kernel shortage. And I got blamed for it. And I was told that, I'm just gonna use my controller here because this is a little crazy. I was told that I seemed like I didn't care and didn't think it was a big deal, but it was also at this time I only had my first son and he was young. He was like a year and a half maybe. And I didn't have the most reliable car back then. I mean, it was reliable. It was a Volkswagen Golf. It would get me where I needed to go, but it burned oil and it had left me. Which, granted, this was my uncle's fault. I bought the car from my uncle. He was a used car salesman, mechanic kind of guy. He had his own garage and shop, whatever. And like he was a good mechanic, but he would half-ass things a lot. And he I had a lot of like coolant issues with this car, which is not unheard of with a Volkswagen. Like I had the famous like water pump issue, got that fixed, and then I had another issue where I think this happened from the water pump issue. No, no, it didn't. I don't know. Anyway, I had another coolant issue where my car was leaking coolant. Like it wasn't leaking into my engine, it was like leaking out onto the ground because a hose broke or something. I don't remember. So I had that fixed, and my uncle fixed it. And then, it lasted for a while. I'd say probably like a year or so. And then I was driving, and it happened again. Like my coolant light came on, and my car was overheating, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So like I ended up having my really good friend that had access to like a tow dolly and everything. He ended up towing my car, and I didn't take it to my uncle this time. One, because he didn't have his shop anymore. He ended up selling it because he didn't want to do that anymore. He's kind of like the I don't want to say black sheep of my dad's brothers, but he's gotten himself into some hot water. We'll say that. But anyway, he didn't have a shop anymore anyways, so I couldn't really take it to him anyway, but I took it to this other guy, and he was like, yeah, I was like, I've had this happen before, and I had it fixed, and like, I was like, I don't know why it's doing it again, like, there's no reason it should be doing it. And then whenever he fixed it, he told me, the car was a manual, it was 5-speed, he told me that whoever had done it before, and I didn't tell him it was my uncle, I did tell him after the fact that he told me, and I think he kind of was like, oh, well, it's not that he did a bad job, but like, but anyway, he was like trying to like backpedal, and I was like, it's totally fine. It doesn't surprise me that my uncle did this. But when my uncle fixed it, apparently the cable was just laying on top of my clutch cable. So like every time I pushed my clutch in, which if you drive a manual car, is a lot of times, it was just the cable was rubbing on this hose, and it literally just wore a hole in the hose, and that's where the hose leaked. So he said he pinned it up out of the way, like I don't know what he used, but he made sure it wasn't going to rub on the clutch cable and cause any issues. And I never had an issue with it ever again, other than the car did burn oil, which that's normal for those engines in that car. It was a 2002, so it was a pretty old Golf, but I loved that car to death. But anyway, it was really hard to get my son in and out of it because it was only a 2-door, and we ended up just getting rid of it, and now I have a Passat. It's a 2017. I love that car. It's not my favorite car. I would love to have a GTI or a Golf R. Those are my like favorite cars. The Golf is obviously my favorite car, but the Golf R would be the dream, but they're just expensive. They're like 50 grand for a little hatchback, which is crazy. But I would totally settle with a GTI for sure. I'd be so happy. And it's my goal to get one before they turn all electric, because that's the rumor that Volkswagen is going to go all electric with their GTIs and Rs, which just makes no sense, but whatever. It's what a lot of companies are doing. And I'm not saying I don't want an electric vehicle, but like I love shifting gears. Like it's so fun to me, and I just miss that because my car is an automatic now. So anyway, I don't really remember where I was going with this, but yeah, I'm potentially could be getting more hours, and things could be a little better, so I may not be uploading as often, but I'm still going to try to do this. I'm still going to play games, I'm still going to record, but uploads may slow down, essentially, is what I'm trying to say here. I really don't remember how I got all on that tangent of my car. It may come back to me, it may not. That tends to happen with me. I don't know why. I don't have like a bad memory, but I think it's hard for me to like do two things at once. It still is. I know, like, learning how to, like, getting good at, like, talking, doing commentary while you're, like, playing a game is kind of, like, something you just have to get better at. But, like, I tend to just, I don't know, I've always been that way. I'll be talking about something and I'll just, like, totally go off topic, and then I forget what the original reason was even for. But, oh, I think it, was I was talking about my job. How I worked. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. Anyway, however I got off on that tangent, I was talking about the movie theater and whatever else, but I don't remember. I don't even know how I got onto the topic of my golf. Yeah. Okay, so he basically blamed me because I didn't want to drive like an hour and a half away, and I would have had to take my son with me to a Costco, which I wasn't even a member to, so I don't even know how I would have gone into the store and like bought stuff. But he was like, he was like, you just acted like you didn't care, you didn't want to like fix the issue. And I was like, it's not that I didn't want to fix it. I was like, I didn't really have the means to fix it. And also, like, I'm not exactly being paid what I should be being paid to have this responsibility. So anyway, he just didn't like me. That's really what it came down to. And that's the only reason I was told I didn't have experience. It was just a cop-out is basically what it was. So I've seen him since, and he's tried to talk to me, and I've been nice to him, but I just, very short conversation, and just be like, yeah, I gotta go. And I'm actually probably gonna see him this coming weekend, because there's a like father-daughter dance that's happening at the theater that's hosted by like our local hospital, and he came to it last year with his daughter, so I would imagine he'll probably come again, because he is like I don't want to say public figure in this town, but people do know him pretty well, so I'm sure he'll show up to like show his support for coming and supporting like the healthcare system in our town. He's just one of those kind of people. But it's funny too, because the lady that runs the events at the theater used to work at the company that owns this movie theater, and she doesn't really like him very well either. She doesn't like his wife either. But the company that went out of business, though, whenever COVID happened, was a company that they sold the theater to. Because I started working again at this movie theater in 2010 when they reopened it, and this guy wasn't there at the time. It was another guy, and he still is part of it. But I don't mind him at all. But this other guy that I've been talking about, he wasn't actually a part of it back then, but he came later on in the years and kind of took a bigger role in the theater or whatever. But then in 2018, they sold the entire theater to this company that had like 19 theaters down the East Coast of the United States. And we ran under them for up until COVID, and then that's the company that went out of business. And whenever this company bought it, they actually bought the building. So before, the other people, when they owned it, they didn't own the building. They basically just rented it from the people that owned the building, because this family that owned the building like didn't want to sell it, or they wanted to sell it for some like ridiculous amount. But as the years went on, they realized they were never going to get that money, and this was the opportunity to sell it. So they did eventually sell it to this company that bought the business from the other company that had reopened the theater, because this theater was closed for a couple of years. This theater kind of had like a bad rap. Like, it would reopen and then it would close, and it would reopen and it would close. But it was a very loved theater by like the community, so a lot of people knew it really well. And whenever it reopened again, people were super excited, and it was run really well. We did a good job, but they wanted to basically move on and start their own like theater chain, which they have. And but anyway, COVID happened. This company that was running it went out of business. basically just it was an absolute shit show. Like literally a shit show. Like they were like, oh, you know, just we weren't paid at all. None only salary employees were the was the general manager, and I was promoted to operations manager like a month before COVID happened. So, but anyway, she was the only one that was really paid still to like kind of watch over the building. We all had to turn our keys in whenever we shut down, so I didn't have my keys anymore. And then in like June or July, we got letters in the mail that the theater was not reopening, and we were all basically terminated. So that's kind of how that all went down. And then the building was closed for a good year and a half, 2 years, and then the people that had originally sold it that I was talking about, they had bought a theater in the next town over from us and started their new theater chain. And it had been open for about a year, and then they finally were able to purchase back the theater that they once owned once ran before but didn't own. But now they own everything. They own the land, they own the buildings, so they could do whatever they wanted. And they have, and it is now the second of the theaters in the chain. And they actually opened a third one even. Just, I'd say within the last year. But I don't know why I keep doing that. I don't have to launch the observation. But yeah, so, that time-wise, we're about halfway, which is good. We probably only have about half the map to uncover. I guess I need to go back down, and we need to try to figure out how to get across. Probably have to go that way, and we actually should probably go up there and hit that. So we might go all the way back. Well, I don't know. We're just gonna drive. So yeah, so you know, they've reopened, and I had applied to be the general manager of this new branded theater that I had worked in for so long, and literally knew how to do everything in the building. And I was told I wasn't qualified. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. At the end of the rant. But anyway, I'm kind of excited. Like I really do want to get this job. I really would love to work at this live theater, like full time. I think it'd be great. It's just gonna be hard. We're gonna have to figure out childcare or something, because we can't rely on our parents all the time, you know. And my wife's schedule, she makes her schedule because she is the like general manager in her job, but you know, she can't always like have off on the weekends, or like, you know, she can't have like specific days off all the time. So it's kind of hard. And obviously with the event world and like the entertainment industry, I don't know why I'm using my controller. Whoa. With the like event and entertainment industry, like, you know, the shows and events are gonna be when they're scheduled. Like there's no like, oh, I can't do that day. Like, can we try another day? Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like the event is when the event is, you know. So like if I'm scheduled to work, I have to make sure I'm there, you know. I did pick that up. I remember picking it up. So yeah. So I don't know. I think it's good. I think the way she was talking to me, it seemed like, you know, she was kind of like hinting that she thinks I should do it and I'd be a good fit, because she was saying that, you know, she wants to have, because they want to hire a couple of these like full-time techs that know the building really well, and, you know how to run the boards and know how to, you know, do everything in a theater and whatever else, know where things are, you know, just, you know, well-rounded individuals in the tech world that know the building. So she was saying that, you know, she wants to have one that is more like event focused, that, you know, I could potentially have those events, and those would be like my duties. But then she was like, I know you like to run sound, so she was like, you could always still do auditorium shows if necessary, or if you want to, like, you just have to, you know, pick the ones you want and we'll put you on them. So it seemed very, like, she was very, like, you know, and she's always, I feel like she's always liked me. There was never any reason why she wouldn't like me. So, and I don't know, I kind of feel like I have a relatively impressive resume. I mean, I worked at that movie theater for a very long time. I progressed all the way up through and was basically just under the general manager. So, like, you know, I have management experience, I have leadership experience, I have, you know, I have a lot of skills and experience and traits that is just, you know, I think worthwhile to an employer. And I'm a responsible person, you know. Like, she knows I have kids, so, like, she obviously knows I'm, not that everyone that has kids is responsible, but I don't know. It seems like, it kind of seems like something somewhere was looking down on me, and I am not religious. Not to say I'm not religious. I'm not a really religious person. I don't, you know, I don't go to church, but it doesn't mean I don't believe in something, some higher power. It's not that I don't believe in life after death. Like, I've never really been a very religious person. I don't go to church, like I said. Neither really does my wife, even though she grew up Catholic. So she's definitely more religious than I am in certain aspects, but she also doesn't. Like, we get really annoyed when we're, like, say, like, walking, you know, down the sidewalk and there's someone out there, like, with, like, a sign that says, like, Jesus loves you, or Jesus, you know, it's like stuff like that. Like, that irritates both of us. Like, I don't care if you're religious. If you're religious, that's great, but you don't need to push your religion on people. I just think that's wrong. But anyway, I don't really want to talk about that, but I do feel like, you know, everything happens for a reason. I do firmly believe in that. And, you know, like, I lost my job because of COVID. Then, you know, my wife got pregnant with our second, and she was already making good money. So we were kind of just like, well, we'll just make this work. You know, you can stay home, and, you know, that way we don't have to deal with childcare or whatever, and, you know, we'll get through it. And we've done that for a while, and then obviously I've picked up some jobs, and obviously I've been working at the theater a lot more now too. So that's really been helpful. And, you know, we've been doing totally fine. We haven't really had any big issues. But it's still a lot. And, you know, stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home dads, like, it sounds like it's a cakewalk and it's like the life, but it is not. It is not an easy job. I mean, there are days where I genuinely feel like I am gonna lose my mind. And, like, I love my children. I love my boys to death. I would never, ever, ever want it any other way. But, like, there are times where I'm just like they are absolutely pushing my buttons to the limit, and I just want to, like, crawl in a hole and, you know, just be in a quiet space. Like, it can get bad. It can get really dark. But, you know, and that's why I love whenever I can go work and then I'm away, and it's nice to come home to them and they're, like, excited to see you. So, you know, it'd be nice to get back in the groove of that. And then, you know, maybe I could get a GTI, you know? Trade in my Passat and get a GTI. That'd be the dream, dude. Absolute dream. So, because my Passat is a 2017, it only has 40,000 miles on it. Because, like, we bought it in 2019 certified pre-owned, and it only had like 17,000 miles on it, because I think it was a lease car. And, you know, I was still working at the movie theater then, but the movie theater was only like a 5-minute drive from my house. So, like, I didn't even have to drive that far. And then even, like, this live theater is only like a 10-minute drive from my house. So I don't have to drive that far. And my wife's job is like a 5-10 minute drive from our house. So, like, she doesn't even have to drive far. So, like, she has a 2022 Tiguan. I'm a big Volkswagen guy, so, like, I won't let her get anything but Volkswagens. But, and she barely even, like, her car, like, hardly has any, I'm just gonna scan. Her car only has, like, just 10,000 miles on it, and we've had it since we bought it brand new. We've had it for like a year and a half now. So like it's great, like we're not putting miles on our cars. And I mean, I don't really drive my car that much anyway because I don't really have places to go. I mean, obviously if we have to like, if I have to go pick up like groceries or whatever, that's a obvious different story. But um, I don't really drive my car that much, so it just doesn't get miles put on it. So, and it's almost totally paid off too. I think there's only like a couple $1,000 left on the loan. So, yeah, and I almost guarantee you trading that car in, they would give us, I don't even know, $12,000 to $13,000 for it. And if the loan's paid off, you know, that's basically just full on equity that I could put down on a GTI. I'd love it to be a Golf R, but I just don't see that happening. And they're really hard to get a hold of too. Do I need to turn right here? Yeah. They're really hard to get a hold of too, just because they're very sought after cars. And I don't necessarily live in like a big city area. I mean, we do have a Volkswagen dealership, but I think they only got like one R in 2021 and 2022 each. Like they just haven't gotten a whole lot of them. And I don't know, maybe they have. I've never really been in the market to like actually like investigate it and like be interested in one, because obviously I can't afford one, so why would I even bother? But they're just hard to find. And even if you can find them, dealers are marking the price up on them by like crazy amounts, like $10,000, and it's just insane. So I don't know, I would be totally happy with a GTI. Give me a 6-speed GTI, I'd be in love. Okay, I guess let's go and pick up those, hit that, and then we gotta go the other direction, I guess. So let's just turn around. I mean, if we don't fully explore this in this episode, that's totally fine. I'll just finish it off in the next one. It's not a big deal. But yeah, my wife has always told me that, you know, she would be happy for me to get a GTI if I could make the payment. Oh, no, 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 no. What the hell happened? Did I connect to something that wasn't... There we go. But this job would definitely allow me to do that. And Golfs only come in 4 doors now. They don't come in 2 doors, so it wouldn't be an issue there. Obviously, I'd lose some space because my Passat is so roomy. It's amazing. Like, you could be, you know, 6.5 feet tall and sit in the back seat, totally comfortable. Your knees won't be in the seat in front. Like, it's so roomy in it. And I do love that car. I really do. It's a great car. It's super reliable. It has no problems. It looks nice too. You know, it's a very clean, sleek looking car. I really do like it. But it's just not, it's not my dream car, you know, and it's an automatic. I really want a manual again so bad. I miss driving manuals so much. And I miss having a hatchback. I miss having a sub, like a subwoofer in the hatchback part. It's so good, dude. My Golf had like this most amazing sound system in it. I mean, I put it in myself, so obviously I'm a little biased, I guess, but... Is there a... Okay, there's a task here. Oh, I've already picked that up. But yeah, so... I'm excited. I'm trying to be optimistic, and I hope I am... I sent my resume to her today which it's Sunday. She's not in there. The theater's not open on the Sunday. At least the offices aren't, unless there's an event. The theater's pretty much dark. Which, there was an event today, but she wasn't actually there. Well, not an event. There was a concert today. An orchestra concert. But she wasn't there, so I'm sure she didn't check her email today. And if she did, she may just not have replied because she's not at work, which I don't blame her for that either. But I work all next weekend again, so I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have that one too. Alright, we're getting close to the end of this episode, so let's at least see if we can hit... How do we get to that watchtower? So we need to go back this way. And come this way. I hate when I don't, like, trigger these and they don't go away. So I know sometimes I'm, like, meticulous about it, but if you put it, like, too far over here, for instance, like, you're not going to trigger it and then it's going to stay there. And it's just kind of a pain to fix. I believe you just go straight through there. I don't know. The watchtower's right there, though. So actually, let's delete one more. I need to turn around because I need to go back that way. I don't know. I think the thing I'm like most excited about with this position, which I know this is going to sound super silly, but like I'm fairly certain they'll give me keys to like the building, and then even like a little RFID fob for like, you know, setting the alarm and opening doors and like using the elevator, because like to get into like the office you have to use a fob, or you have to like hit the call button and they have to like buzz you in. But like if you have a fob, you can just use the fob and just open the door. And the same thing with the elevators. If there's not an event like on the upper floors, the elevators won't let you go to them. So you can't, like if you push the button, it'll say call locked and it won't let you go up. So if you have a fob though, you can scan the fob and push the button and it'll let you go. And there's just a lot of times where like I have to go get something from somewhere and all the closets and like storage rooms are locked, which makes sense. So I always have to like either borrow someone's keys or they have to come unlock it for me, and it's just such a pain in the ass. So it'd be nice to just have my own keys so I can just do things myself. And I'm a responsible person. I had keys for 8 years at the movie theater that I took care of and never lost, and, you know, I was always responsible with them. So that'd be cool. I probably could have gotten this all done in one episode, but it's kind of a weird that there's a lot of like blocked areas I can't get past because I need to rebuild a bridge or whatever, so it's kind of hard. Because we have to go basically backtrack all the way and go back around the other way to get to the other side. Because I'm pretty sure this map, I think it's this map, it may not be this map. One of these maps has like a ferry that you can take across the like middle section, because there's like a big water area. Scan. It's also different using my wheel with this, because I like if I go into the map I have to, how do I get up there? There's got to be a way up somehow. Let's just do that so I know where I'm going. It's always a pain because like when I open the map I have to switch to my controller to be able to like navigate the map, and it just takes time, obviously. Not that it's like hard, it seamlessly swaps. I just pick it up and touch a button and it activates the controller, but it's just, you know, it's an extra step, and then I have to like set the controller down, pick the wheel back up. So I think that's probably what's, you know, taking a little bit of time. All right, watchtower. Okay, so we have this whole side done, and we only have like this, it's like a third. We have like, well, I guess it is about half. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it here because we're at 55 minutes. But the next episode, we'll make our way back over here. We'll pick up this upgrade, and then we will. Oh yeah, right there's the ferry, and then we will finish off this side. And we'll get that done probably within the first 30 minutes, so then we can do something else. So we'll do a task or a contract or whatever. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a good one.